In a bustling town surrounded by rolling hills, there was a small workshop with a sign that read Elliot's Marvelous Clocks. The shop was a haven for anyone enchanted by the gentle tick-tock of gears and the magical dance of timepieces. Each clock in the store was unique, from tiny pocket watches to grand-grandfather clocks with intricate carvings. Elliot, the clockmaker, was known far and wide for his creations. But as the years passed, his hands grew slower, and he decided it was time to take on an apprentice. After many interviews, he chose a bright and eager girl named Clara, who loved fixing things and was fascinated by the inner workings of machines. Clara quickly became a favorite among the townsfolk, always greeting customers with a cheerful smile. But what she loved most was her time in the workshop, learning from Elliot. The walls were lined with tools and shelves of gleaming brass gears, delicate springs, and polished clock faces. One evening, as they were tidying up, Elliot paused beside a large, locked cabinet at the back of the workshop. Clara had noticed it before but had never dared to ask about it. "Clara," Elliot began, his voice soft but serious, "there's something you should know. Inside this cabinet is my life's greatest creation, a clock unlike any other. It can do more than tell time. But it's incomplete, and it must remain locked until it is ready." Clara's curiosity burned like a flame. But she nodded respectfully. "What does it do, Master Elliot?" Elliot hesitated. "When the time comes, you'll see. For now, it must remain a secret." Months passed, and Clara grew skilled in repairing even the most complex clocks. One stormy evening, as thunder rumbled in the distance, the shop door creaked open. A tall figure cloaked in black stepped inside, shaking rain from their hat. The stranger's face was pale, and their piercing eyes swept across the room. "I am looking for Master Elliot," the figure said, their voice as sharp as the wind outside. Elliot appeared from the back, wiping his hands on a rag. "How can I help you?" The stranger placed a small, tarnished pocket watch on the counter. It was unlike any watch Clara had seen, its surface engraved with strange symbols that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. "This watch," the stranger said, "has stopped. Fix it, and you will be well rewarded." Elliot picked up the watch, his expression darkening. "Where did you get this?" he demanded. The stranger's lips curled into a thin smile. "That is not your concern, clockmaker. Just fix it." Elliot set the watch down firmly. "I'm afraid I cannot help you." The stranger's eyes narrowed. "Then you leave me no choice." With a flick of their wrist, the watch glowed, and time seemed to freeze. The clock on the wall stopped ticking, raindrops outside hung in the air, and even Clara felt a chill as if her heartbeat had slowed. But before the stranger could do anything more, Elliot reached into his pocket and pulled out a small key. He turned to the locked cabinet, inserted the key, and opened it wide. Inside the cabinet was a clock unlike any Clara had ever imagined. It was not made of brass or wood but seemed to be alive, its gears spinning in patterns too intricate for the eye to follow. At its center was a glowing orb, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Elliot whispered, "Clara, this is the heart of time. It can restore the balance when time itself is disturbed." The stranger lunged forward, but Elliot was faster. He placed his hand on the glowing orb, and the workshop erupted in light. Clara shielded her eyes as the frozen rain outside began to fall again, and the clocks in the shop resumed their ticking. The stranger stumbled backward, their figure flickering like a shadow. "This isn't over," they hissed before disappearing into the storm. When the chaos settled, Elliot turned to Clara, his face weary. "That was no ordinary customer," he said. "They come from a place where time has unraveled. They wanted the heart of time to bend it to their will." Clara stared at the glowing clock, her mind racing. "But why did they come to you?" "Because I am its guardian," Elliot explained. "And now, Clara, I must pass that duty to you." Clara's eyes widened. "Me? But I don't know how to protect something like this." "You've learned more than you realize," Elliot said with a gentle smile. "The heart of time does not need strength, it needs someone with curiosity, patience, and the courage to keep time's balance. I've seen those qualities in you." Elliot spent the following weeks teaching Clara how to care for the heart of time. She learned to read its subtle signals, how to calm its glow when it flared too brightly, and how to listen to its rhythm. But one question lingered in her mind: what had happened to the stranger? Her answer came sooner than she expected. Late one night, as she was polishing a set of clock hands, a faint glow appeared in the corner of the room. It was the stranger, but their form was less solid, as if they were made of smoke. "You've taken what belongs to us," the stranger said. "Return it, or face the consequences." Clara stood her ground, her hands trembling slightly. "The heart of time doesn't belong to anyone," she said. "It exists to protect the flow of time, not to serve anyone's desires." The stranger's form wavered. "Then prove you are its rightful guardian," they said, reaching out with a smoky tendril. The heart of time began to pulse erratically, its glow flickering between light and shadow. Clara closed her eyes, focusing on the rhythm she had learned to hear. Slowly, she placed her hands on the heart, feeling its chaotic pulse. "Calm down," she whispered. "Time is steady. Time is balance. I will protect you." The heart's glow steadied, its gears falling back into harmony. The stranger let out a cry, their form dissolving into wisps of smoke. The workshop grew still once more, the only sound the gentle ticking of clocks. When Elliot returned the next morning, Clara recounted what had happened. He listened with pride in his eyes. "You've passed the final test," he said. "The heart of time is safe with you." From that day forward, Clara became more than an apprentice. She was the keeper of time, protecting the delicate balance of moments that held the world together. And though the days ahead would bring challenges, she knew she was ready, for the tick-tock of the clocks had taught her that every second mattered.